This is the Dollemore Daily, and I'm Jesse Dollemore.
So at this point, we should be pretty used to having dullards in leadership of the Republican Party. I mean, after all, we just had 4 years of maybe the most intellectually incapable individual. Alliteration. Look at that. The stupidest president in the history of our union. And that's saying something, because we've had some dummies. Kevin McCarthy, I guess I'll just jump right in. Kevin McCarthy is the minority leader of the United States House of Representatives. And either he wants you to believe that he is a dummy, or he believes you are a dummy, or maybe some combination of the two. Marjorie Taylor Greene, yesterday, faced consequences, the possibility of consequences from her own caucus, from the Republicans in the House. And Republicans chose to do nothing. They chose to offer no repercussions to her insanity, to her dangerous conspiracy theories, to her harming of individuals who have been involved in the several school shootings in our history, when she claims that they are a false flag. Let me play the clip. We'll just play the clip of the press conference afterward, in the aftermath of there being zero consequences for Marjorie Taylor Greene. Here's Kevin McCarthy either playing a dumb guy or just being a dumb guy.
Senator McConnell said her views amount to a cancer for the Republican Party.
Well, I denounce all those comments that were brought up. Everybody, and she came inside our conference and denounced them as well. She said she was wrong. She has reached out in other ways and forms, and nothing that she said has been based upon since she's been a member of Congress. And the voters decided she could come and serve. When she sent and denounced all those, inside our chambers, that's exactly what she did. That's what she did inside our conference.
Do Democrats deserve to hear that same apology that she delivered?
Well, I think everybody should hear that. And she has expressed that she has put it out from news agencies and others. I think it would be helpful if you could hear exactly what she told all of us, denouncing QAnon. I don't know if I say it right. I don't even know what it is. Any from the shootings. She said she knew nothing about lasers, or all the different things that have been brought up about her.
Come on, man. She denounced QAnon. I don't even know what it is. I don't even know how to say it. I'm Kevin McCarthy. The reason that is not believable, Kevin, is because you are the House Minority Leader, and the FBI and the Department of Homeland Security has identified QAnon as a possible threat to the homeland, a domestic terrorist threat. So if you want to be in leadership in the House and claim you don't know about an identified domestic terrorist threat, then you're a danger to the American people in your position, and you should be removed. QAnon. Well, QAnon. I don't know about QAnon. Further, the fact that she apologized or denounced these wacky beliefs, these dangerous conspiracy theory beliefs in private to you, does us no good. It does the American people no good, because we are then forced to take you, a dullard, coward, liar, at your word. I don't see that happening, bro. Also, that was before she was in Congress. She said 9/11 was an inside job before she was in Congress. She said that Muslims serving in Congress is an invasion of our country because someone of a different religion than her holds office. She called that an invasion, but that was before she was in Congress, y'all. It doesn't count until she becomes an office holder. This is where we are. This is where we are with the Republican Party. I mean, we've been in a bad place with the Republican Party for a long time, but this is where we are currently, where Liz Cheney, the ranking third member in the House of Representatives among Republicans, she was facing consequences. They were going to strip her of her leadership role, and she was able to get out of it. The vote was, the secret vote was 145 to 61. So there was an equal shot of Liz Cheney losing her job in leadership for trying to hold Donald Trump to account for inciting a literal insurrection at the United States Capitol, endangering the lives of both members of the House and Senate, and also their staff, and many of their families who were there that day. They were going to hold Liz Cheney accountable for that. And about a third of Republicans wanted her gone. It's not a mainstream party anymore. And I want to remind you, I'm going to play kind of a mashup here. I'm not sure exactly which clips I'm going to put in yet. I'll do that later, a few minutes from now in editing. But Marjorie Taylor Greene is a dangerous nutter. Not only the last video I did about her, I played the entire video of her stalking and harassing the victim of a school shooting, but she also propagates the QAnon conspiracy about Satan worship and eating children and drinking their blood. About the plane not flying into the Pentagon. I know someone who died on 9/11 who was on the plane that struck the Pentagon. It happened. And they're not going to do anything about Marjorie Taylor Greene, who poses with pictures of the squad while holding a gun during her campaign, that Facebook removed because it violated, even Facebook removed it because it violated their community standards. And now Republicans are saying, yeah, well, we want Ilhan Omar gone. I know you are, but what am I? The classic Republican response. Anyway, here's a few clips, a minute or two, I don't know how long it's going to be, of Marjorie Taylor Greene espousing dangerous, insane conspiracy theories as though they are true.
Q is a patriot. We know that for sure, but we do not know who Q is, okay? So now the question is, I'm going to talk about this, and I'm going to tell you, I don't know who Q is, but I'm just going to tell you about it because I think it's something worth listening to and paying attention to. And we have the open borders. Oh, open borders. MS-13, everyone. Under Obama came MS-13. There's a lot to that. You have to understand. They had very good relationships with MS-13. MS-13 was basically like, they were kind of the henchmen of the Obama administration. They did a lot of the dirty work. Seth Rich was murdered by 2 MS-13 gang members. That's what I mean by dirty work, okay? Now, Q has put out there that many high-level officials will soon be arrested, and it will actually be the drain the swamp scenario that we have always been wanting to happen. He says that once the corruption and the type of corruption is revealed to the American people, it will trigger something he calls the awakening. Hillary decides to launch her political career. It's time for her to enter because, you know, she's being lined up. She's the next one in place, the deep state. They choose who their candidates are. They choose who they want to put in place. And Hillary, it was finally her turn. She was supposed to be the first female president of the United States. So she has to run for Senate, right? So she runs for Senate in New York City. Okay, so she becomes senator in New York City, and yes, I could dive into Kennedy getting killed in the plane crash, because isn't it interesting that he had announced he was going to run for Senate just before he died in a mysterious plane crash. But anyway, so that's another one of those Clinton murders, right? And it will be a type of corruption. Now, what type of corruption would it be? I mean, is it going to be the stuff that's rumored? The things that people don't want to talk about, the things that people don't want to think about? I mean, is it going to be true that the child pedophilia in the elites in the Washington, D.C., is that what we're really going to see come out? Is it true? Is the type of corruption we're going to see come out, is it going to be satanic worship that possibly all these people are involved in? I mean, we already saw there was an email came out of the WikiLeaks emails where Cheryl Moles, and she told Hillary Clinton in an email that she was going to sacrifice a chicken to Moloch in her backyard. Who says that kind of stuff? Like, that's not, nobody says that. But that was proof right there that there's possible satanic worship, and maybe that all these scary things that people talk about on what's considered conspiracy sites and conspiracy theories really may be true. And this is an important time in our history. We can't allow this just to be gone, just to let it go. You can't allow it to just transfer power peacefully like Joe Biden wants and allow him to become our president, because he did not win this election. It's being stolen, and the evidence is there.
For decades,
Ma'am, I fully disagree with you. Racism
We're fighting.
Doesn't exist in America,
It doesn't exist in America.
No peaceful transfer of power. And maybe most dangerously, racism doesn't exist in America. Member of Congress charged with legislating new policy for America to lead us forward into the future, who doesn't believe racism is a thing. Come on. And all the other nutties. It is wacky is an understatement. Dangerous is an understatement. This person shouldn't be in a leadership position. And the House has it within their power and purview to remove her, which is what's going to happen today. Later today, the whole House is going to vote to remove her from her committee assignments, which is what they did to Steve King, the white nationalist from Iowa, and it's what should happen to Marjorie Taylor Greene. As always, I want to hear from you. 714-576-4054. Of course, you can email me daily at dollemore.com. If you dissent, I would love to hear from you. If you agree, I would love to hear from you. I would also invite you to consider supporting my work here on YouTube. For as little as $2 a month, you can support independent news analysis and commentary and help this channel grow. I try all of my platforms, including my podcast, I Doubt It podcast, which is co-hosted by my lovely, talented, and scholarly co-host, Brittany Page. But all of my platforms, I try to amplify the voices and opinions of others, because I'm lucky enough to have the platform that I do. And I want to share the wealth relative to information spreading. Anyway, follow me on social media. I'd love to connect with you there. I'll see you next time. I love you guys. I appreciate you so much. Until I do see you, be genuine. Take care of one another.